There are a number of questions we get time and time again from viewers of Geeksvana, and this video, which is the next in our Can You series, focuses on whether or not, under the current UK drone rules, you can fly your drone in towns and city centres. All the answers are coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to Geeksvana. This video was published during November 2021, which means we are now approaching the end of our first full year of the new UK drone rules. These new rules change so much for hobbyists and professional flyers alike. Everything from separation distances to what you can fly and to where has been updated. For more on this in general, you can watch our UK drone rules series, which is linked in the description below. This video is based on the current rules for legacy drones. We will update it once C-label drones are finally available, but that's a whole other story. Remember, until the C-label system is fully available to manufacturers, even shiny new drones like the DJI Mavic 3 are legacy drones. Before we start, let me know in the comments below if you currently fly in city centres and how you find it, as well as offering any tips that other drone flyers can use. Also, if you're worried about flying in city and town centres, let me know in the comments what is holding you back as well. I read all the comments and would be really interested to know from both angles. So, can you fly your drone in the centre of a town or a city? Under the previous rules, this would have been something available only to qualified operators, but that has all changed. You now can fly your drone under the right circumstances in the centre of a city. This obviously opens up a lot of potential awesome flying spots, and I, for one, have captured some dream shots over the past few months. However, you need to follow the rules closely. Flying in the centre of a town or a city does, of course, mean you're going to be in close contact with people, property, and even other air users. It is a city centre, so there is a lot going on. So to help you manage your flight and get the footage you want, here are my 5 steps to flying your drone in a city centre. Step 1, understand the rules and focus fully on the safety aspects of your flight. Safety should always be the focus, and it will be your friend if anything happens. Get to know the UK drone code and follow it at all times. Step 2, know which drone you can fly where. Outside of Article 16 flights, which I'll come on to in a bit, you need to ensure you know which drone you can personally fly in a city centre. If you are a pure hobby flyer and do not hold a CAA certificate, then sub 250 gram drones like the amazing DJI Mini 2 are perfect for you. Not only can you fly these little drones in congested areas like city centres, but there is no separation distance to uninvolved people, and you can even fly over people. You must ensure you do not fly over people who are gathered together, which of course is much more likely to happen in a city centre. Now, we've got a video explaining flights over people linked in the description below separately as well. The only hurdles you need to pass are ensuring the drone is registered if required, which for instance includes the DJI Mini 2, and reading the manufacturer's manual in full. So essentially ensuring you know how to operate the drone safely. If you hold an A2 certificate of competency from the UK CAA, you can then fly larger drones in the centre of cities, which at the moment means legacy drones, so anything weighing up to 2 kilograms. Holding the certificate means you can also fly drones like the Mavic Air 1 or Parrot which are both under 500 grams in the A1 airspace without separation from uninvolved people, but you must not intentionally fly over any of those uninvolved people. Larger drones over 500 grams but under 2 kilograms can also be flown in congested areas like city centres by holders of the A2 CofC, but separation to uninvolved people is now 50 metres, which is a column, so you cannot get around it by merely flying over them at more than 50 metres. Step 3, support your drone flight with the right research before and live data during your flight. When you're planning to take your drone out, whether or not it is specifically to fly, or if you're bringing it with you in case an opportunity to fly comes up, then check potential restrictions on sites like dronesafetymap.com. Also, being registered with the UK CAA Skywise service is important because they actively send out airspace restrictions, including those specifically for drones, directly to your email. You can then get an active live view of the situation by using apps like Drone Assist and UAV Forecast to provide you with essential data from live flight restrictions to KP rating, satellite availability, and much more. This is important information and can be handled within just a couple of apps, which mean you can feel confident in your flight. Make sure that you check out the area you're flying from to make sure there's no signs preventing you from taking off from that land, and if necessary, make further inquiries to clarify this. There is, of course, one source for live data which is better than any app, website, or service: you. Keep an eye out for any changes coming to weather, other airspace users such as drones, emergency service operations, and other manned aircraft which might be operating in the area. Just because your flight is legal and follows the rules, you need to ensure it remains as such throughout the flight and take into account things like Article 241 as much as possible. If something changes and you're not sure what to do, my advice would be to land and reassess from there. At least the decision to proceed is made whilst your drone is safely in hand. Step 4. Now you know the rules, where you're qualified to fly and with which drone. Next, you need to focus on the drone itself. Regular maintenance is vital to smooth drone flights, and we're all responsible to ensure our drones are kept in an airworthy state. To ensure your drone is flying with the latest stable updates from the manufacturer, check things like the drone itself for damage, as well as the batteries for damage and swelling issues. Check also that the props are in perfect condition. Really get in there and twist the props around a bit to check that there are no hairline cracks, etc. Also, check the drone sensors, including any obstacle avoidance, landing or positioning sensors on the bottom. Make sure they're clean and free from debris blocking them. Step 5 is be prepared for more interactions with people. This will not necessarily be negative, so don't assume so. However, be ready where you can to deal with a wide range of interactions, from friendly onlookers to those concerned about your drone flight. Try to ensure you respect the privacy of those around you whilst you are flying. For more on dealing with people approaching you and potential confrontation, including some free handout leaflets you can print to hand out to people approaching, check out our video on this topic, which is linked in the description below. An extra tip in terms of your takeoff position is particularly important for city centre flights. Make sure your landing position is quiet and safe, allowing you to return the drone to your position without worrying about vehicles and people becoming in the way. Look for natural boundaries which can help secure your flight zone. In a busy town or city, the area you choose to take off from could experience several changes within just a few minutes, so be wary. For instance, if you're in a car park standing at the empty end with lots of spaces around you, what happens if a few cars suddenly start taking those spaces? Outside of these 5 steps to flying your drone in a town or city centre, there are other routes to flying congested areas open to members of organisations such as the BMFA and FPVUK. These flights are under Article 16 Authorisation, allowing drone flights in parks and other areas primarily used for leisure, such as beaches. Now, there are key restrictions to this beyond having to be a member of such an organisation, such as takeoff separation from uninvolved people and containing your flight to the area itself, and checklists, etc. But it is a real benefit to hobby flyers, especially FPV quad enthusiasts and model RC flyers. You'll find out more about that in our videos on this topic, which again are linked in the description below. That is a great time to remind you that you can find the link to our full UK drone rule series in the description below. Sean out.